Hey guys, you're listening to Lucid Rain. Today we're going to be talking about urban legends in a sense. Just for a little background, I live in Cincinnati. He lives in Philadelphia. I don't know if I'm sure we've mentioned this before, but we're going to do two stories from each. One is going to be a road, and the other one's going to be like a place. So I guess I can do first. I'll do the road. So there's a road called Buffalo Ridge in Cleves, Ohio. It's like a 2 mile road that's windy, really windy, has ridiculous hills. It is surrounded by Mitchell Memorial Forest, which is, I don't know how many acres it is off the top of my head, but it's not like a small little dumpy ass
Yeah.
forest. And there's essentially a bunch of urban legends. I can do the urban legends and I can tell you the story, and then I guess we can talk about our experience when we went there. So it's like I said, it's a road in Cleves. There was a school bus crash, I believe. So one of the legends is you park at a certain spot and you get out and you put talcum powder on the back of your car, and then you're supposed to see fingerprints.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
And there's also one where you essentially your radio stops working. There's an old crematorium where they say like a bunch of fucked up stuff happened. There was a orphanage that burned down. There's a park that was like connected to the orphanage that is like supposedly haunted. There's just spots where there used to be like houses, and you just see the foundation, and you can like just see like random items spread out. I think kind of those have been overtaken by nature and cleaned up and not really there as much anymore. There's a bunch of trails, and one thing in the forest, there's something called Midget Town, where it's supposed to be deep in Mitchell Forest, where there's literally a town of, little people that were like former circus performers, allegedly. Kind of like hard to believe, but it's kind of just one of those like roads where you're a teenager and it's supposed to be haunted, so you gotta drive down. So I used to drive down there quite a bit. There was at least two times where I was driving down there at night and radios malfunctioned when they pretty much never do that. And other people were in the car, so they could vouch that it happens. We did try the thing where you turn your thing off. Oh, also, it's like every good road story where there's allegedly
Yeah.
a ghost truck that chases you. Did not see that, but the lights malfunctioned in the car and the radio malfunctioned, and that was super weird. That happened maybe two separate occasions. Other times, it's just a really creepy atmosphere because it's, like I said, it's super hilly and it just
The hills are
is.
insane.
Yeah, it's like an uncomfortable type of hills.
Like if you go too fast, you could probably end up killing yourself.
Yeah, and it's actually somewhere that people do hill hopping and shit like that. That's something that happens there. People just hill hop and act fucking reckless.
That's just, couldn't be me. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
and it's a very eerie road. Like I said, it's windy, bunch of crazy hills, surrounded by forests. There are people that live there, so I mean, there's houses, and there's once you start getting towards the road, but the middle of it doesn't really have any houses. Like there's just stretches where
I
there's
don't
no
remember seeing
houses at
houses,
all.
but you've been there more than I have.
Yeah, there's eventually you start seeing houses, but it's it's not a heavily populated road. And there are little weird offshoot streets that say like no traffic through and shit like that, where it's kind of like, why is there no traffic through, and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, but yeah. So that's just a couple experiences. There was uh, like I said, a couple others where it's just creepy and you drive through at night and you just feel uneasy. And then there's a couple. I know there's one that I went with my friend. We went and we were probably there like a solid 5 hours. we got out, parked. You know, may or may not have, you know, burned something allegedly. The only reason that I know that there's houses that where it's just their foundation is because we parked, we're getting out and walking, and then we stopped at a place where there used to be a house, and we're just like fucking around and looking like it was just like a hole, and you could like see where the basement was, and kind of like see the foundation. They see like where the fucking living room was, and the house was just not there. And then you see like like steps and like an old driveway and shit like that. And we fucked around there, and it was like dusk. And then we walked on a trail, which is from what I've seen, it looks like it's always closed because there's like one little road that you could, I guess, you could fit one car on. It's like not that it's not that wide, and we walked maybe a mile down, and it's, you know, literal trails, and we found a building just in the middle of the fucking woods off of the little road, and where it started like turning into serious trails. And we found that, and it had a fence around the whole perimeter, and it had barbed wire facing inward, which I thought, you know, I'm sure I was overthinking it, but you know, usually you put barbed wire facing outward so
Yeah, if you don't
people
want
can't
people
get
in. Yeah.
So I was always wondering, like, why the fuck? And he was like, dude, we should hop this fence and go down there. And I was like, no, we should fucking not go in there. Because once we get in there and we can't get out, and we're fucking calling the police saying, like, yo, we're trespassing, but we're fucking stuck.
Yeah.
And then you don't know who lives there, what lives there. Obviously, it might have been a business. I really don't know what the fuck it was. And what sucks is I tried to Google Map it, but Google Map does not let you go down that way.
Really?
So yeah, I guess Google didn't drive their little fucking car that way. So
Yeah,
I have
guess
no
so.
clue what it is or where it is. Like, it's kind of annoying the fact that like it damn near feels like a hallucination, but it was there. And then as we were there, you know, we're surrounded by forest because we're technically on a trail, and I feel like someone's watching us, and I can hear someone throwing rocks, like towards our direction. And I was just like, "What the fuck?" Like,
That is so creepy.
and then we get to the car, and didn't really pay attention, and then we are sitting there for maybe 5 minutes, and then I don't know if the sheriff was already behind us, and he was just kind of like in the dark, and then decided to like pull up to where we could see him, or if he literally just saw us and pulled up, and we pretty much very narrowly escaped being arrested for alleged stuff, you know, alleged things in the car. And I was just like, wow. So I was kind of shook because we were down there, and you know, like I could feel people throwing shit at us, and
That's
you
creepy
know,
as fuck.
I don't necessarily know. I'm obviously I would say it was a person, but you know, who knows what it was? But something was throwing rocks at us and watching us, and was being pretty fucking quiet to the point like I could hear rocks being thrown, and I mean that's a distinct sound, you know, like
Yeah.
I can tell when something's being thrown and hitting stuff.
It's fucking
And
weird.
yeah, so that's pretty much that. And I don't know. Did you get any weird vibes from that place or not really? I mean, you went during the
Yeah.
day. I went during the day
Yeah.
plenty times,
Those
but
places are definitely like different feeling at night. So it was a little weird, you know. That could just be because it's an empty ass road and I lost signal and everything, but it felt a little weird being on that road. And it was also like absurdly amount of hills. Like that was weird, like really weird to me. I don't know. It was kind of a weird road even in the daytime, to be honest. But I'm sure it's a lot different at night.
Yeah, it's kind of it's even sketchier at night. I mean,
And your street, this is off topic. I'm just gonna quickly say this. Outside of what was it, your like parents' street or something?
yeah,
That street feels different. Uh, like I didn't get the same vibe from Buffalo Ridge as I did on that street. I felt like that street felt weirder than, but actually Buffalo Ridge I didn't really get any weird vibes that much, but that street was a little weird. I couldn't really put my finger on why.
yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah,
I've
I just
talked
wanted to
about
say
that a
that.
lot. Yeah, there's like my street just you can like feel the air. I know it sounds weird. Like obviously you can feel the air, but like you can feel it. Like it feels like
Feels
it's
like
like
thick or something.
tangible. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Sorry. What do you say?
Like it feels like thick, the air or
Yeah.
something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You can like. It almost feels like in an anime how like you just have like a purple fog, like, and just like how energy is like colorized. It's almost
Yeah.
like you can feel like some sort of energy. I mean, I've seen a bunch of stuff outside that house. I've seen shit in that house. I've I've literally had nights where I mean, I used to sit on my car outside and drink, but I do remember one time where I was literally just running up and down the street and basically having like I'm not gonna say it was a panic attack, but I guess you could call it that. I was like having like a psychotic breakdown, I guess. Like I was
Yeah,
running
I
up
know
and down the
exactly what
street,
you mean.
just hysterically laughing and like calling people, saying like someone's watching me. Like I vividly remember it, like calling people saying something is watching me, and I'm literally running up and down the street, like to the top of the street to my house, top of the street to my house, like just running, like laughing, jumping, like, and then I'd go from that to like looking around, like it's weird. And I'll say this: the neighbor, I haven't always been nice to the lady. I threw mud at her house once, and I feel like every house has that lady that you think is a witch,
Yeah.
but she legitimately seemed like she was kind of like off, and she like I don't know her. She could be a very nice lady, so I'm not like. I'll even say I'm sorry for like being a dickhead kid, that fucks with other people's property. Like that's just really not that cool. But it's a weird way to start the street because that's the first house on the street.
It's always the
It's
first
just
house on the
yeah,
street.
it's just a overgrown, like doesn't take care of a property, and
Yeah.
there was a tree in the shape of a hand that like I used to literally just stare at, and it almost like I could feel it, and they actually cut it down because it was in my neighbor's yard across the street. But he could tell you from back in the day, like when we first met, me talking about the fucking hand tree. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
you probably even remember. Like it goes
Yeah.
back far. Like I've been talking about this hand tree for a long time, and everyone that has been over my house knows about it and could tell you about it because I used to talk about it all the time. Like it,
Do you think you have a picture of that I could put on screen, or do you not have any pictures anymore?
if I look, I could probably find a picture of it. At least artwork that I made, and then you would just have to imagine what it looks like without being completely doctored. But
Okay.
I probably do have a picture of that, I would think.
If you
But
can't
yeah,
find one, it's no big deal.
that street, and I even have a story. Just the whole neighborhood. We didn't really walk around the neighborhood. The whole like the whole block feels like that. My street probably has the most feeling out of it, or my old street. Like it has it the most where you can instantly feel it and recognize it. But the whole neighborhood has it. There was one time, I may or may not have, dissolved something. Who's to say, right? And I saw the Grim Reaper follow me around. Like he literally, like there's trees. Obviously, most streets just have trees, and I just saw something poking around every tree, just like staring at me.
What the fuck?
and it looked like like the classic tale, the Grim Reaper kind of, and it like so I wouldn't deny that I think there's probably stuff out there on that street, and this kind of shit that just watches you, and it's kind of like hey, don't be fucking stupid, and I'm stupid all the time, so especially younger, so maybe
Something.
it's.
Sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna say maybe it's the fact that I was always into shit, and it's like I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate.
I mean, you won't. I guess you won't get anywhere speculating. But something I noticed on that particular street was, I don't know. This might be nothing out of the ordinary at all, but for some reason, the crickets or cicadas, whatever the fuck, insects, were like so loud on that street. I've never heard something like that before. That was so weird to me. I don't know if it's always like that. It's always been like that.
Honestly,
maybe you're used to it, but
honestly,
I
it's
wasn't
never
used
quiet.
to that was weird to me. Like, and it was like only
it's pretty
there.
much
Like, I've
never
never
quiet.
heard something like that before.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could go outside right now and tell you if it's really loud. Well, you know what? We can do that as a little experiment, dude. Go outside real quick, and I'll be able to tell you if it's instant. And I have a tree right next to me. I mean, yeah, it's pretty loud. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty loud. So
I guess
maybe
that's
it's just
how your area is. That's
maybe it's just this area.
That's just weird to me.
It's not like that here. That's kind of insane to me.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. But I also kind of live in this. I don't live too far from from that street. Yeah, it's only like a 5-minute drive. So
Yeah.
but I definitely think it feels a little different here than it does there. Like, it's noticeably different.
Yeah. I don't know.
So-
It definitely felt a little weird.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. Like, it doesn't feel bad. I enjoy sitting
Yeah, not
outside, drinking beers there. Like, I enjoy it. I used to do it pretty much every night. And when you're with someone, it is a lot more enjoyable. When you're just by yourself out there, it kind of can get weird.
Yeah, I can
And
imagine.
your mind kind of starts like,
Roaming.
yeah, you just start like, I don't know, kind of feeling tranced a little bit. But I've always enjoyed hanging out there. So I know you have a road that's similar to Buffalo Ridge around here, right?
Yeah, so there's a road literally just called the Devil's Road. It's in Chadsford, PA, and this road, the trees on the road, and I'll put some pictures of this probably, they literally bend away from the road. And like, not every single one, but like, there's a good stretch of like 10 trees that bend away from the road, and they're just curved, which was really weird. And like, just like every creepy road or town or whatever it is, there's a cult. Supposedly there's a cult there, and it's like they'll get you, they'll kill you, they'll ram you off the road if you stop. You better keep moving.
They'll take a banana and they'll eat the actual banana and just save the peel for you to eat. They're horrible.
Yeah.
They're monsters.
Those damn cults,
They'll
But
take
yeah.
a potato slicer and they'll cut the skin off your grape and leave you with a weird mess.
And it's like, it was definitely a creepy road, but it's mostly from its looks. It's a very creepy looking road, and I think part of that is because it looks completely different from any other road in Chadsford or in that area. Like, if you go literally one street next to the Devil's Road, it looks nothing like that. But when you go on the Devil's Road, there's just woods and trees, like thick woods and trees. And
what's the actual street name of that?
I gotta look it up. I don't remember. I'll look it up really quick.
Could you send that to me so I could search it so I know what I'm looking at?
Cosart Road, Chadsford, PA.
And the thing is, there's a house.
Cosart?
Yeah, Cossart Road. I think that's what it is.
Cosart Road. Pensbury Township?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so, actually. I just looked it up. Yeah, I think that's the one. But type in
Hale
chats
Road,
for,
Cold
yeah.
House. I'm looking at a Tumblr page right now that says, yeah, those trees look kind of weird.
Yeah, they literally bend away from the road. It's really weird. And they're kind of like Buffalo Ridge. There's a few hills, but it's nowhere near Buffalo Ridge. But it's kind of hilly. And like, as I was saying, it's the second you get on that road, it feels like you're in a different state, dude. Like it's weird because none of the roads around here look like that. It's only that road, and there's nowhere to stop. Like there's nowhere to park or anything like that. So you just have to go all.
What
Want it to
what,
stop, you really
what
couldn't.
is the Cold House? Because it seems like both of these roads do have similar things where it's
Is that
like
the house at the end of the road? At the end of
I'm not
Devil's Road?
I'm not sure. I just saw it. I know, like with Buffalo, there's literally like a crematorium, and it
There's
is weird because if you search on Google Maps, at a certain point, it literally just says crematorium, and it's just a open, like it's just a grass field, and it's like super weird.
what?
Yeah, like do you remember how I sent you a picture or whatever of like the road on Google Maps, and it literally said crematorium for like no good reason, and I wasn't expecting that, and I just looked down and it said that, and I was like, what the fuck?
Well, maybe they used to be there.
Yeah, I don't know why they would even have that there though. Like
I
it's
don't know.
because it's on the road, and it's like I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to specify.
Yeah, that is pretty
But that's
weird.
kind of neither here nor there. But I just saw the Cold House like on the because I was just reading about it. So
Yeah, there's a huge house on that road, and like I think there might be two houses, but there's really not a lot of houses there. But one of the houses has a huge yard, huge property. It's this big ass house, and it's like it's just weird that they live out there at the end of that road. That's just so weird to me, cause there's nothing on that fucking road. Like it's just that's so weird to imagine driving down that road like just to go to the store or something like that. I just can't picture that in my head.
yeah, dude, read this real quick.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. There's a tree. We couldn't find it, but there's a tree that looks like a skull, and apparently like they've sacrificed like babies there under that tree or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, some bullshit. The usual bullshit that
Yeah,
like just randomly pops up.
just cult shit, always that.
Yeah, it's always the same thing, and there
Yeah,
never seems to be any reasoning why they would do it or any logic behind it
exactly.
ever. I mean, we've talked about this more times than I feel like I can count,
Yeah,
where we've complained about this, but
They're gonna ram you off the road.
yeah, like
why would they do
I
that?
just yeah, why and what good are they doing out of that? Like if they're doing
Right.
something illegal or shady or anything, then they're doing themselves a disservice, because if someone is trying to run you off the road, you're probably gonna call the cops, and then the cops are gonna come, and then they're gonna get fucking busted for whatever they're doing. Like, really, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, it'd be counterintuitive and counterproductive.
Right. Yeah.
They'd actively be shooting themselves in the foot, which I don't know why they would do that. Seems kind of fucking dumb, if you ask me. So either all cult members are fucking the stupidest people that you ever find,
Yeah.
and like I've rarely seen cults where they're like doing stuff like that. Like most time it's like people getting free labor and kind of just abusing the people that are in it, and they very rarely the cults ever like affect people that are outside of that, like their circle.
Yeah, exactly. They usually don't like get in other people's business, really, from my knowledge.
So yeah, but yeah, seems like a weird ass street. How far is that from you?
It's actually not very far at all. I don't remember like exactly the distance, but I can look it up really quick. But it's not very far. I only went there recently, like this year, and it's been close to me this whole time. But for some reason, I thought it was like really far, which is why we never went there. Cossart Road. Yeah, it's 30 minutes away from me.
Yeah, did you read that what I sent you or whatever?
Yeah, I'm reading it. I wonder. I guess they're talking about that house that's just sitting on that road. I guess there was two of them though. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know which one, but
Yeah, I don't know what's with people like over just blowing things out of proportion. Oh man, there's hellhounds on that road. They're gonna bite you and kill you. It's like, dude, come on. Like,
Yeah, people take a story and just stretch it.
yeah, like
Something
stretch a
that
real
might have
thing.
been like one thing that was kind of creepy that happened just turns into something that just is absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, dude,
Something
completely just out of the realm of possibility.
yeah, when I make it down towards you, we'll have to go on that street.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
And I'll just make sure we go to Walmart and I'll grab a machete and
Yeah.
we'll be armed and having a good time.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, we were gonna talk about a couple other things, like I said. So others a place. So I guess the plan was we were gonna talk about two places that were abandoned and kind of weird. The fact that they were abandoned and kind of how it, like the story behind it and all that. So first one was the Cincinnati subway, which is what it sounds like. It was a subway that was just abandoned. You know,
That sounds very creepy to me. Just walking around dark, like, abandoned subway tunnel. Like, I don't know.
yeah, I'm gonna try and figure out when it was. Okay, the Cincinnati subway was a partially completed transit system, which was a little over 2 miles, and I'm guessing that it was around downtown. And it started in the early 1900s, and I guess kind of stopped in like 1930, pretty much. And it goes from downtown to Camp Washington, pretty much. Which I guess they only made it go through 3 neighborhoods instead of continuing to build it. Which I don't know. If you want to look it up, if you're listening to this, you can, and it has like detailed, more details about it. I think my dad's been in there. Pretty much everything is blocked off, from what I understand.
I imagine it would be.
And yeah, like I'm looking at one right here, that a picture of a way to get in, and it's literally like you drive past it every day. It'd be pretty cool to. I mean, they have a majority of them blocked off, but it'd be pretty cool to go exploring there. I think maybe at some point I might try get in there. I don't think they even have like tours or anything, but yeah, it's essentially just a subway that got started, and they just stopped it.
That's weird, cause like, why did they stop it though? If you know.
Why did they stop? I guess just they figured it was pointless,
I guess so. I don't know.
and I don't know. I guess they saw it was expensive and getting nowhere, and they just
Yeah.
kind of stopped. There's pictures of the subway of people that have gone in there and what it looks like. I mean, it looks super cool.
Kind of want to see that.
I mean, it just looks like a subway, kind of untouched, like just touched by time, just like
Yeah.
started and then just abandoned. And it's not like anything nefarious is happening there or anything. but I'm sure it would feel very weird being in there. And I'm sure it's covered in graffiti, and anywhere
Yeah.
that's abandoned is pretty much just covered in graffiti. And
Pretty much, yeah.
But the PA has a whole network of turnpike tunnels that are just unable. You're just not allowed to access them. I guess like they're just there, abandoned. You can't drive on them. And it's a lot. They go on for miles, I'm pretty sure, and it's just completely abandoned. It's really weird, and it's just miles of just cold, dark tunnels, which there's no like creepy legends or anything that I know of. It's just that idea sounds so creepy to me. Just walking through pitch black tunnels for like miles. I don't know. Something about that freaks me out. And just like any abandoned place, there's just tons of graffiti. So I guess people, there's been quite a few people who have been in those tunnels if there's graffiti there. So
yeah, how long has that been abandoned? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I mean, quite a while.
Would you have that information by hand?
I'm looking now. I can't seem to find like how long was abandoned. It's it's 13 miles, which is like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's actually a lot. The
Yeah.
subway is only 2.
That's just insane. Like
they a lot of people have images of the outside of the entrances to the turnpike tunnels, but no one seems to have any pictures of being inside the tunnels. It's as if no one wants to go in there.
Really? I'm sure if you looked it up. I'm looking at Cincinnati subway on. I sent you a video. Maybe I'll look up the
okay.
other one.
Well, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
All right, peace. Thanks for listening.